Hello, world, and I'm so excited to introduce to you all this month for the month of July 2021, our featured entrepreneur, Dianna Rose. She is the owner of Jars of Delight. She's the founder of Sovereign Market, and she's also the founder of Essential Kitchen Inc. So, so she's a serial entrepreneur. Say hi to the world, Diana.
Hey world, thank you so much for having me on today, Beth. I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited to chat with you as well. So let's start right in. And why don't you tell the world a little about yourself and who you are also as a businesswoman?
Absolutely. And I'm always going to preference these amazing interviews with the fact that I am a mom of two children, a 12-year-old and a 4-year-old who are currently still at home. So please disregard the background sirens or anything that you hear going on with him playing with his toys. But this is my real life. I am, again, an entrepreneur, but my first profession is mommy. So that is the only unpaid real profession that I have. So it's just been a great opportunity to balance real life and just I think the pandemic brought to light how hard it is as an entrepreneur and as a business owner to really run sustainable, effective businesses, but also have a home to balance. So that's just a little bit of what I'm over here doing in my world.
Yes, I love it. I love how you said my real life because sometimes it does seem like entrepreneurs, we have some kind of super woman or superman life, and there's a whole real side to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think that's the one of the only beautiful things that came out of the pandemic is that grace that business owners are being afforded and entrepreneurs are being afforded because, social media makes everything look so glamorous. But, when you're not on the screen or you're not on in front of the camera, there's a real life going on. There's real people involved, there's real life situations, some great, some not so great. So just being a business owner doesn't take away from the fact that we really live real lives. So
Yes, yes. And I want to chat with you a little bit more about that in a few minutes. But you do have several businesses, and they all are food related in some way or another. But I'm curious, where do you draw your inspiration from for everything?
I mean, I think my biggest inspiration and just me as, in my profession, my background is in my education and background is in sustainability.
Mm.
So my biggest inspiration, of course, is, my faith in God. And I feel like He gives me that inspiration and puts these things in my mind and just gives me the talent and the ability to run with them. But nature is really one of my biggest inspirations because, everything that we do is really mimicking nature in and of itself. And how effortlessly nature and the different components that make up our ecosystems works together. So when I look at nature, I'm really inspired not just by its beauty, but just how intricately everything works together. Everything is so separate and not separate. Everything is so different, but succinctly everything works together to produce this earth, this planet. So that's really my biggest inspiration.
Yes, it's true. Nature, right? Like a rock is very different from a flower, but yet they need each other. It's so true.
It's really amazing. It's really amazing. The more you study nature and its patterns and its ecosystem, it's so just, it's awesome. And, I see a lot of that happen in our businesses and our communities. And, it's inspirational.
Yeah. So let's talk about the inspiration that you have and your real life, right? So going back to that real life idea earlier, how do you get it all to work in harmony, right? So you're raising the 4-year-old, you're raising the 12-year-old, you're creating new projects. How does it all work together? How do you make it work?
Yeah, I think in the beginning, it was just this idea of you had to do everything and it had to be produced by myself, or that thought of, well, I have to do it. And I really have transitioned into this idea of building out sustainable systems and teams. And I have a great team in terms of my family, my mom and my sister and my aunts, and they help me with the children when I have to be out, or am I doing an event, or if I'm even like Zoom meetings, a lot of times it's like, calling on them to like, hey, can you watch the kids for a moment? I have this to do. And then when it comes to the business itself or the nonprofit, it's really building out amazing teams that get the job done. So I think that has been the secret for me, has been systems, developing these systems and a network of people who believe in the vision, who believe in the mission, and have that same alacrity that the founder has. So that has been very, very helpful. And so yeah, I think that's really it. There's nothing else that I'm doing differently than any other business owner or entrepreneur is doing that would make it a little bit easier or more succinct. But it's just for me, building out a great network of team members has been awesome.
Nice. So, has it been challenging for you? You mentioned finding people, particularly in the business end of things, who have that similar vision or those values. Has it been difficult for you to find people to partner with that or not? How did you go about it?
I wouldn't say for me particularly it was difficult, because I believe in receptive energy, and I really believe that whatever you put out in the universe is what you get back. And
Mhm.
it's really about alignment for me. I find myself always aligning myself, I'm always finding myself in alignment with people who get the vision, who have the same mission as I do. So I can't really say it's been hard to find people. I think we find each other. And and I
Mhm.
tell them, oh, I'm thinking about doing this, and it's like, oh, this is great, I want to be a part of it. Or even for Jars of Delight, I have paid staff or paid team members, and even in that regard, it's just been just aligning myself with the right people. So it's been a great experience. And again, I am a personal believer of whatever you're putting out in the universe, that's what comes back to you. So you put out positive, good energy, that's what you get back.
It is true. They say what goes around comes around, and it's going to be hard to find a good partner if you're mean to people.
Exactly,
I don't know how
exactly.
that would work. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So let's kind of explore it a little bit more, though. Out of all of what you just shared, what do you feel is the biggest factor in your success?
Again, just lending back to my faith. I think my faith is the biggest factor of my success. My unwavering, un what is it with it, unadulterated belief in God, and that the ideas and the visions that I have gotten received from him, that he's faithful and that he will really assist me into accomplishing these things. So that's it. That's the first thing. Like, God will show me something and I'm like, okay, God, I got it. And if you show it to me, then I know it can be done. So my faith is just my number one recipe for success. If I don't have that, then nothing that I do is really ever successful. Second is the work that goes into it. So a lot of times, you see people producing these great events or these great projects or these great businesses, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. And I really believe I'm also a believer in being the head of any organization or business. If you're not first to do the work, then you can't expect anybody else to do it. And it's funny because just last weekend after the farmers market on Sunday, I had stayed back to make sure that the entire parking lot was clean. And I had a little hand picker. And for me, cleaning is therapeutic. So I have never have a problem with cleaning. And I was going around just picking up some trash and putting in a bag. And one of the market guests was happened to be driving by, and she said to me, this is a picture that should be taken. And I remember saying to her, well, this is the picture that's never really seen, right? Um, and that is major for me, because if you're not willing to get your hands dirty, if you're not willing to put in the work, you can't realistically expect your team to put the work in or to even be invested. So I've seen it, and my first job was at JetBlue, and I started when JetBlue was like 12 gates at JFK, and I was there when David Nealman, who was, who's the founder, the CEO at the time of JetBlue, and he would know you by first name basis. He would help you check customers in. He would help you run, customers to the gate if they were running late. And he was really my first, experience into the workforce. And just to see how him as the CEO of JetBlue poured into his crew members, and that even that term crew members, he never called anybody staff. It was, you're my crew. Everyone was a crew member, whether you were a pilot or whether you were maintenance or whether you were a baggage handler, you were a crew member. And just that idea gave you a sense of belonging or worth in that. So that to me was what made JetBlue so successful. And I just borrowed from that idea and just build on that.
Yeah, that's so important. I mean, if we're not invested in our own businesses, if we're not interested, right, why would someone else be? And everyone does have value, right? If you want people to keep working with you. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's, just highlighting and elevating the value in your team is, to me, that's what ensures a successful company, business, organization, or project.
Yes, I love it. So, kind of the opposite, but in the same idea, what do you feel is the secret sauce that many entrepreneurs miss when it comes to success?
Secret sauce. I think there's so many different sauces depending on what industry you're in. But I guess
True.
if I'm taking it to food and agriculture, which seems to be where my life's work is right now, and which just happened again I didn't think I would have owned a zero waste catering company, neither be the founder of a farmer's market or a commercial kitchen. So these aren't things that were technically planned out. It's just basically, again, being in that state of alignment. But for the food industry, I think the secret sauce would be, there's so many different aspects of this. Again, I think the secret sauce is how you treat your team. I think that is what, for me, has been lending to the success for all the projects that I'm doing is how you're treating people. It doesn't matter how much money your company is bringing in or making, or organization. It doesn't matter how much fundraising you do. It doesn't matter how much sponsorships you get. If you are not treating people right, if you're not kind, if you're not compassionate, you can still be authoritative, but you can be kind, you can be compassionate, you can be decent. I feel like that is what a lot of entrepreneurs miss. They're just such on this, well, we got to be at the top, we got to exceed, we got to excel in this, in the numbers games. But it's really a people's number, right? It's really how you're treating people, what is the impact you have, not just on the product that you're selling or the service that you're offering, but within your team. Like, how do they feel about what you're doing when you go up and you speak, and you're in articles, or you're presenting? Do they does it make sense to them that you have this platform, but behind the scenes you're not nice? And I think for me, that's been the secret sauce, is just being kind and being human, and understanding that even though you're the founder, or you may be the CEO or the executive director, it doesn't place you in any different category. You're still human. Everyone has value and has worth. So for me, that's my secret sauce.
Yeah. And at some point, those people, because sometimes we have exit strategies, and those people that we brought up with us end up being part of that exit strategy and taking things even bigger, and continuing the work that's begun. So I think it's important, like you said, to build that team up. Yeah. Yeah. So, what does the next level of success look like for you? Oh, he's so cute. Hi, Boo Boo.
Say
Hi,
hi, Miss Beth.
hi, Miss Bell. I watching my phone and see the ice cream truck and the
Okay.
phone.
Yeah. He just heard the ice cream truck on the phone, and it's making him very happy. All right. Yeah. Real life again, right?
Who doesn't love the ice cream truck?
I think for me, it is next step, next level. would be the businesses that we are assisting in their next level. So, I like to, everything that I'm doing again in this season of my life, I like for it to be circular. I like for it to make sense. And Jars of Delight has played into the farmers market, that has played into the commercial kitchen. So the commercial kitchen was really birthed out of this idea that as a food business, I have to travel so many miles to produce food out of a commercial kitchen. I live in Southeast Queens, so I've had to go to Harlem, I've had to go to Brooklyn, I've had to go to Long Island City. And quality of life for me is not having to leave my community to get the essential things that I need. And that's where the name Essential Kitchen comes from. And so in seeking out a kitchen, I was like, 2 years ago, I'm like, I'm going to launch a commercial kitchen. Then COVID happened, and then the farmers market was born. And just seeing, I have over 400 applications for the farmers market, and many of them I cannot accept because they don't have access to a commercial space.
Mm.
So it was like, you know what, Diana, it's now or never to do this. So my next level wasn't just for Jars of Delight, wasn't just for the sovereign markets, but it was really an idea of all of us in this circle are now going to reach our next level because we have a commercial space to cook from. And to me, that's what leveling up is about. It's not just about myself or what I'm going to gain or what the business is going to gain or our revenue model for next year, but it's how many businesses and how many, local companies or businesses that, we can help to elevate in our process of reaching the next level. So that's what, next level looks like for me.
I love it. I love it. You're really thinking about others. And it's so true because not only will they not be excluded from the farmers market once they're able to produce commercially, they'll have access to other venues, like to be able to sell to restaurants or to be able to sell to grocery stores or wherever, right? It's going to really
or
open
even
it up.
accessing contracts now. Early this year, Jars of Delight was, we were lucky and blessed to be able to be awarded an RFP. So we're delivering emergency meals for the vaccine workers throughout New York City this year. So, and that was a major contract that we were able to get. So to be able to have a commercial space that now other local businesses, food businesses, can have access to is going to really change the trajectory of where we are in Southeast Queens. And it's really exciting.
Yes, awesome. Congratulations. I also feel like you're doing some unique things because you said, like offline prior to this interview, how you had done on Sunday a market in the evening. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
farmers markets, if you're not an early riser on a Saturday morning, or maybe you have some people work on Saturday mornings, to be honest, not everyone has Saturday morning off, right? So
Yeah.
you have this
Yeah.
evening option on Sundays.
It was great. So the St. Albans night market was a beautiful, magical experience. I think everyone who was there is still on this high. Like I'm still getting text messages like I had the best time of my life at the market. And it was a partnership with myself and Showing Hearts, which is another amazing local nonprofit organization here in Southeast Queens. And it was really the idea, again, of not having to leave the community to do some really dope stuff. And the sovereign, as much as we would love to have it every Sunday, we're going to have it once a month throughout the summer. And yeah, it was a lot of work. It was stringing the lights and everything and all that magical stuff that goes into this live jazz band. The Bartlett Brothers played, and we had performances and amazing street food and handmade artisanal. It was just great. And we had organic produce at the night market, right? Which is something we don't typically get. And they sold out. You could have bought organic kale and strawberries. It was great. It was so, I'm still, as you can see, maybe that's that glow, I'm still on a high. So it is one of those things where, again, being able to produce excellence in our communities, which unfortunately as a Black woman, as a BIPOC member of the BIPOC community, a lot of the times we don't get these opportunities. We don't get to have these amazing projects and fairs and things. So to be able to spearhead, these initiatives, it's just such a great feeling. My family was there, my children was there, it was safe, and everyone just had a good, safe, clean time. And I feel like coming out of COVID, that's what we need more of. So we'll have one every month for the rest of the summer. And then we will end with in November with our harvest celebration for the farmers market. So that's going to be really cool as well. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Keep me posted on the dates. I'll share them, but I want
Yes,
to
it's gonna be
for
fun.
this.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yes.
fun. It's gonna be a amazing time.
It sounds so fun. It sounds so fun. So, with all of this amazing work that you're doing, not only for the community, so that the community can reach out to you and get in touch about any of your initiatives, but also other entrepreneurs. How do we contact you? How can people connect with you?
Oh, absolutely. So one of the easiest ways is to visit www.chaecorp.com. That's CHAECORP.com. And that way you'll find out about sovereign markets. You'll find out about our upcoming night markets via that platform, or on Instagram at Sovereign Markets. That's one of the ways you can reach me, and as well as Her Sustainable Life on IG. That's where all the cornucopia of all the work that I'm doing gets displayed. So it's Her Sustainable Life at on Instagram.
Awesome. So, all right, world, you now know how to reach her at Her Sustainable Life, at Sovereign Market, and the website chaecorp.com.
Yes, Chae Corp.
Oh, Chase Corp. Can you spell that one more time? Sorry.
Sure, no worries. www.chaecorp.com. Chae Corp.
Perfect. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. Is there any, I don't know, last pearl of wisdom or anything that you would like to share?
Well, one of the things that I would like to share is our upcoming collaboration at the market. I think
Yes.
that would be great to talk about. I
True.
think that would be so amazing to talk about. And again, everything working in serendipity and just trying to figure out, and just in alignment. I've been blessed to have my professional headshot portrait taken by you. Okay, my son is getting excited over here. Watch kids video games, and one of I'm sorry, come here, come talk to Miss Beth. One of the things that we have done together is my professional headshot. I'm gonna turn this down for a second, and I've used my headshot. Okay, then go over there. Go over there and listen. No. I've used my professional headshot in so many different publications. Sustainable BK is one of those that have used the headshots that I've been blessed by your photography company. And so just reaching out to you, I saw that you were having another event where you're doing complimentary or at low cost headshots. And I thought it would be great as a service for our vendors at the market to have, their professional headshots taken, because sometimes people ask you for a headshot and you're like scrambling. You want to make sure you're representing yourself and your company in the best light. So I'm really excited about you coming to the market and doing this with us.
I'm excited too. I hope that I will actually be able to come in advance, just to check out the market, either at the July evening market, but preferably during the, one of the Saturday, just so I can get a feel for it in advance. But yeah, I'm excited about partnering with you, joining forces, and, also just bringing awareness to other types of businesses. I think farmers are often overlooked, and artisans sometimes get overlooked. And so, yes.
Absolutely. So that is really exciting, and I can't wait to, to host you there. It's going to be a great day, and everybody's excited. All the vendors that are participating, they're really excited. So they're going to come with their best face, and get ready to do this. But again, if I could leave, anyone that's watching or everyone that's going to be watching with a nugget is collaborations and support is definitely necessary to building really great corporations and nonprofits and businesses. And I think just showing the collaboration that you and I will have with the Big Black Book NYC is just one of the ways to show how important collaborations are.
Yes, definitely. It's very helpful to have other people, like you were saying earlier at the beginning, who share the vision and then can work together to build something else out that's new to help people, have better financial foundations or professional connections, whatever it happens to be. Yeah. So, uh-oh, you're frozen, I think. Oh, no, you're moving again. All right. So thank you so much for joining us. And it's an honor to, be able to have you as the featured business for our website this July. So have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for chatting.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Beth. Remember, it's plastic-free July, so let's limit our plastic use as much as possible, people.
Woo. All right. Thank you for the tip. All right.
Thanks, Beth.